Ah, the SS2000s. This could be no more removed from the pre-65s with its modern array of Japanese machines, unless your name is Dan Hogarth. So Dan, first of all, you're fresh into the SS2000s and you're dealing with a lot of import type vehicles. Why a Vauxhall Chevette?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's a bit of a common question. It's a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing, mate, to be honest, but we'll keep that on the quiet side. But I love them, mate. You know, I love the old school. Into my Holdens, and just something different, to be honest. You know, you definitely spot it going around the field.
So did you get it as a set-up race car, or did you grab it from Grandpa, or what happened?
I bought it with a cage in it, but it looked like Grandpa's car, mate. You wouldn't know it. And with a lot of help from a good friend of mine, Tony Lynch, from Lynchboard Engineering, we've put together a wicked package. So we're fully stoked with it. You know, we spent a lot of time in the off-season putting it together. And it's come out cool, mate. It's come out cool.
Now the SS2000 class, of course, is up to 2 litre. That's the ruling, that's where it got its name from.
Absolutely.
How does the class actually work? Because you'll have guys who are under 2 litre.
That's right. So if you're a smaller car, say 1600, you can run less weight. There's also a Honda class within the class. They have some slightly stricter rules, but it's a great class to get into. The guys here are awesome. Like, this is my first weekend here, but already make me feel like I'm part of the crew. So it's really cool. And if you're like a 2 litre turbo charge, you've got to run dock rated tyres, you've got to have more weight. So it pans out across the field, and they also run a handicap race. So the slower guys will get to run off first. The quick guys will be held on the grid, and it should make for an interesting last lap, mate. So it should be awesome.
Yes, the SS2000s allow all to have a crack at glory with the handicap system, because guys like Dan have to try run over guys like David Garrity.
In the open class, okay, our weight is a minimum of 1170 kgs, so she's pretty up there. It's run dot rated tyres, and in my case I'm running a turbocharger, so a maximum of 18 pound boost.
Now what does that do to the racing out on the track when you're up against guys of less than 2 litre, or guys who are just on 2 litre but normally aspirated? How does that affect the racing out there?
Makes it quite challenging, but it has a lot of fun, because the smaller lighter cars are quicker on the corners with the slick tyres, but the cars on mine with more horsepower are quicker in a straight line, so you can pull them in on the straight, but then when you get to the corners they pass you on the brakes again and then corner you. So it's a lot of chopping and changing the whole way through, really.
It seems to be a fun class. I mean, why SS2000s?
Oh well, there's such a wide range of vehicles, and it what makes it so much more exciting is that the Hondas are brilliant handling cars. Then you get cars like the old Vauxhall Chevette come out, and there's some just awesome. There's lots of interesting cars turn up. Yeah.
But we don't want to give away all the trade secrets of under the bonnet, but you say a wolf in sheep's clothing, so you're out there to give these guys with their turbos and all their other types of vehicles a real hard time on the track.
Yeah, hoping to, mate. Hoping to, absolutely.
Okay, so it's fresh on the track. Have you had any time for a shakedown? Have you had any chance at all to whittle out any issues you might have in there?
Practice didn't go so well yesterday, and I'm starting with the back of the grid today, which isn't really where I want to be because it's a handicap race. So I'm going to let all the fast boys go away in front of me, and hopefully race 2 I'll have a better shot at it, but we'll see how things go, mate.
So how did Dan go? Well, he had his chances just like everyone else, and he did get his machine back to the pits in one piece. Alright Dan, so you had your first outing there, fresh on Taupo. Give us your thoughts of that track.
Man, there's some fast boys out there, mate. I don't want to start at the back anymore.
Okay, what's the theory then for the final race of the day?
Well, the good thing about this style of racing is the slower guys get to start at the front, so that'll be me next time. I didn't get to do that, as I said, because I missed qualifying yesterday, but I will be starting off the front, so hopefully it'll just be hammer down and try and keep out in front.
Holding lines on this track, how's that going to be on these corners?
Yeah, it's definitely tricky, but I'll just keep my line and make them go around me, mate. That's all you can do.
He got his wish, starting from the front, the big green flag, giving Dan nothing but open circuit to play with. Wonderful control from a machine that I'm not ashamed to say was one of my own childhood dream cars. Yes, right alongside the Lamborghini Countach. You might think that's a weird pairing, but look at the way Dan makes this marvel of Vauxhall engineering glide, if not fly, around the track. And look, Dan gets the white flag last lap and he's at the pointy end of the field. This masterpiece, in fact, is so easy to control, Dan even has time to acknowledge his fans. Keep your eyes and mind on the job, Danny boy, because here comes your checkered flag, son. Dan? Oh my. Wrong way, pal. Words will be shared at Pukekohe. Now the exciting SS2000 class, which also incorporates the Honda Challenge, can be tricky to follow, but here is the breakdown from Taupo. Rick Bone took the weekend for the SS2000 over Dan in his 1600cc class Datsun 1200. He did that by grabbing a second, a seventh and a fourth. Consistency pays. The open class grunter of David Geraghty finished in second, his open class turbo Lancer giving him an 8th, 13th and a first. Even more proof of the consistency theory. With Matt Foster in the Ford Telstar, yes I did say Telstar, taking third, and Kane Wamsley also in a mighty Datsun took a 15th, third and a 6th. All of that puts Rick Bone in charge of the 1600 class, Kane Wamsley in front of the 2-litre class, and David Geraghty on top of the opens. The Honda Challenge class saw Mike Bate clean up the 2-litre class, with Brent Thompson in the 1600s grab the lead for the season.